Have you ever looked at someone speaking fluent English and thought, wow, I wish I could speak like that too? Have you ever stayed quiet in a conversation, not because you had nothing to say, but because the words just wouldn't come out in English? You're not alone. Many of us have felt that frustration, that silence, that fear. But what if I told you, fluency is not a gift, it's a journey that you can take. A journey that starts not with perfect grammar or big words, but with a small step, a little courage, and a dream to express yourself freely. Today, I want to share with you a story, my story, and the story of many learners who felt just like you. And through this story, I want to remind you, you can speak, you can grow, you can shine. When I was a young learner like you, I had a dream. I wanted to speak English fluently. I wanted to express myself confidently, just like the people I saw in movies and on TV. But there was one problem. I was shy. I made many mistakes. Every time I tried to speak, I felt nervous, and sometimes people laughed. That made me want to give up. But then, one day, a teacher said something that changed my life. She looked at me and said, "You can be fluent if you practice every day." Those words stayed in my heart. From that day on, I realized something very important. Fluency doesn't come in one day. It is like planting a tree. First, you put the seed in the ground. Then you water it. You give it sunshine. You take care of it every day. And slowly, it grows little by little until one day, it becomes a big, strong tree. That is exactly how fluency works. One day, a young English speaker came to me. She was very sad. "Teacher," she said, "I want to speak English, but I always forget the words." I smiled and told her, "Don't worry. Fluency is not about remembering all the words. It is about practice." She looked at me with hope in her eyes and asked, "But how can I practice?" I told her, "Practice is everywhere. You can practice by talking to your friends, by listening to stories, by singing songs. Every moment of the day is an opportunity to practice." I remember when I was in school, I loved listening to stories. Every night, my teacher would read to us, and I would repeat the words after her. At first, I was slow, but with time, I became faster. I learned new words. My confidence grew. Another young learner once asked me, "Teacher, is fluency only about speaking fast?" I said no. Fluency is not about speed. It's about clarity. It's about making people understand you. You don't have to speak quickly. You have to speak confidently. I told him about a boy in my class who used to speak very fast, but no one understood him. I advised him slow down, speak clearly, use simple words. And guess what? Everyone started understanding him. His confidence grew. Fluency is a journey. You take one step at a time. You don't rush. You enjoy the process. And one day, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. I've seen many English learners who were afraid to speak, but with time and daily practice, they became fluent. Would you like to know the secret to fluency? It's simple. The secret is to listen. Listen to English. Listen to stories. Listen to songs. Listen to conversations. I once knew a young person who loved music. She would listen to English songs every single day. Soon, she started singing along. Her fluency improved, all because she was listening and repeating. Another important thing, Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are our best teachers. I met a shy participant who never spoke because she was afraid others would laugh at her. I told her, "Don't worry about mistakes. Every mistake is a lesson." One day, she decided to speak in class. She made many mistakes, but she didn't stop. And you know what happened? She became better. She told me, "Teacher, I'm not afraid anymore." That was the day she started becoming fluent. Fluency is also about thinking in English. I once guided a learner who always translated from his language to English. It made him slow and confused. I told him, "Try to think in English, even when you're alone." He tried, and slowly, his fluency improved. Another English enthusiast loved to talk, but he had a habit. He would start a sentence in English and then switch to his native language. I said, "Try to stay in English. Even if you don't know the word, explain it in English." That helped him stay focused. Soon, he was speaking only in English. Reading is another powerful tool. When you read, you see how sentences are formed. You learn new words. I used to read simple books, write down new words, and try to use them in sentences. It helped me speak better. A curious reader once said, "Teacher, I read this book but didn't understand everything." I told her, "That's okay. Keep reading." And she did. One day, she came back and said, "Now I understand much more." Her fluency had grown. Sometimes, it helps to listen to yourself. Record yourself speaking, then listen. Find areas to improve. I knew a passionate English learner who did this every day. She would record herself reading a story, then listen and make notes. That made her aware of her speech. Soon, she became fluent. Speaking with a friend also helps. I knew two close companions who spoke only in English with each other. Every day, they had conversations in English. They helped each other. And yes, they both became fluent. Use English in real life. When you go to the market, try speaking in English. When you're with friends, try using English. One English enthusiast I taught worked in a shop. He decided to speak only in English with customers. At first, it was difficult, but with time, his confidence grew. Be curious. When you hear a new word, don't ignore it. Ask what it means. Try using it. I worked with someone like that. Their vocabulary grew so fast because they were always asking and practicing. Always have a goal. Ask yourself, why do I want to be fluent in English? One of the young learners I mentored wanted to travel to an English-speaking country. That goal motivated her. She practiced every single day. She became fluent before her trip. Enjoy the process. One of the English speakers I knew loved watching English movies. At first, he used subtitles. Then, without subtitles, he learned while enjoying. That's the best kind of learning. Fluency comes from repetition. Repeat sentences you hear. Use them in conversations. Talk about topics you love. Talk to different people. Speak in front of a mirror. If you forget a word, don't stop. Keep speaking. Try to describe the word. The important thing is to keep the conversation going. Take breaks. Rest your brain. Don't be too hard on yourself. Fluency is also about being creative. Write a story, sing a song, make a video. Teach someone else. It helps you learn better. One language lover became more fluent just by helping others learn. Have a routine. Practice at the same time every day. Stay patient. Progress will come. Celebrate small victories. Learn a new word? Celebrate. Spoke without hesitation? Celebrate. So, my dear friends, fluency is not just about speaking. It's about listening, practicing, being patient, and enjoying the journey. Think of fluency like cooking a delicious meal. You need all the right ingredients: practice, patience, listening, speaking, confidence, and a little bit of courage. Keep going, keep learning, keep believing in yourself, because one day you will speak English fluently, and you will smile, knowing you never gave up.